From here on out, every foul is flagrant, boy. Let's go. What's up? Came in a chokehold, more balls than Esco. All right, maybe
you are now tuned into the chat room, your favorite baller's favorite podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Chatroom Podcast. I am the Senator. This is season 3, episode 15, and with me today I got Essay.
What up? What up? What up?
Got Coach.
What do y'all?
Got Dwayne.
What's going on?
Gentlemen, how you guys doing today?
Doing good, man. I mean, I'm not liking this cold. You know, the cold's kind of bugging me out. But you know, other than that, I'm getting it. 'Tis the season, so I'm starting to warm up to the Christmas spirit, as they say. Hopefully, start decorating the house soon, and you know, get things going. How about y'all? How y'all doing?
Well, you know, birthday month, so that's all that matters. I'm just busy out here doing.
Not the birth of Jesus?
No. No. That guy had so much celebrations already. Like, allow me with one. Dwayne, what about you?
Just I already got my decorations up and everything, so probably gonna have some family stuff going on for Christmas this year, and that's pretty much it. It's gonna be nice and light.
What's the color scheme you went with?
Black and red.
With a dash of white?
White, red, and silver.
Oh, Trini. Oh, gosh.
What is it? No, it's not. No, it's not.
Coach, what about you?
I'm all right, man. I'm just pretty upset that my Ravens just lost.
Why'd they go for 2?
I mean, I get it because it's like a rivalry game. You're playing in Pittsburgh. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, fuck it, just go for it. Like, I get it, but Lamar has not been playing well. So it's pretty frustrating. The crazy thing is that with all the injuries, we're still first in the AFC North, which is crazy. But yeah, it's pretty frustrating.
You muted yourself.
You're on mute.
Sorry. Yeah.
Damn, that crazy,
yeah. But other than that, I've been all right, man. We just finished our first semester for the season at SAIT. 5-1. We're supposed to be going to BC coming up. Go play some schools out there. So yeah, I'm pretty bummed out about the Ravens loss, but I'm all right. And then Christmas stuff going on. I haven't put anything up for Christmas yet, so not a damn thing.
You and me both, brother.
Not a damn
Straight
thing.
up.
I have to actually go and go buy a new tree, actually. So
y'all need to get the fake trees, man.
That's what I did.
No. I have a fake tree, but the tree I have, I've used for the last like 5 years.
Oh,
so
damn.
It's just like,
okay.
Yeah, so
they wear down. They wear down.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go pick up a new tree probably tomorrow, like a fake tree with like the snow on it.
Oh,
get one of those and throw it up and then use that for the next 5 years or so. But yeah.
That's what's up. So, just for our listeners, just so you guys are aware how our schedule is going to go, we got one more episode after this, and then we're going to be taking a little break. But when we come back, the episode that we come back on, you are definitely going to want to tune into that one. You're actually don't even tune in. You definitely want to go to the YouTube channel. So you want to go subscribe to that YouTube channel now, so that once it goes up, once we come back, you definitely want to go see that one. And before
madness.
Oh, for sure. It's about to be crazy. And before we even advance, let's just say happy belated birthday to MJ, who some of y'all may have forgot who he is, but still associated with the pod. So happy birthday, MJ. So now let's get into some topics. So,
All right.
I didn't watch it. I've only seen one scene from it. So maybe if y'all seen it,
I know
you
this
can
is
tell
tough.
me. So the Verzuz happened, and it was Bone Thugs and Harmony versus 3-6 Mafia. I'm an old man. I was at bingo while this was going on, so I didn't watch it at
Hey,
all.
you were what?
What?
I was
You were
at
what?
Bingo. So
Like geriatric bingo?
yeah, I'm trying to, level up.
Like,
Man's trying to cheat these old people out of money.
So-
that's what you trying to do. You ready to
Holy-
hustle with Mama Mabel? Trying to take Mama Mabel's money? What
Nah,
shit
yeah.
you in there,
Mama.
bro?
For the holidays.
Yo,
Take your mama for the holidays. That's what he's on.
Times are that hard. You have to hustle that bingo.
Yo, this is the first
Who's on,
year.
yo?
This is the first year where I feel like I have like Christmas gifts to buy. I gotta go out there
Wow.
and get that money. But yeah, so I was out there, and then the Verzuz was on, and then I got home, and the only thing I really saw was Busy Bone throwing a bottle at Juicy J,
Nice.
and then
Stop. He didn't throw the ball. He tried to throw the ball. It hit the ground in front of him.
okay.
It was a bad toss. It was a Conor McGregor toss. It was a Conor McGregor
Or
toss.
50 Cent.
Yeah, it was a really bad toss.
Yeah,
These guys
yeah,
can't
yeah.
throw.
All right. So, what did you guys watch it, and what were your thoughts on it?
I didn't watch it because, like I said in the previous episode I was on, that I think this is kind of a mismatch.
I agree.
So I haven't, like I said, Bone Thugs is who you play when you're trying to remember the good old days and remember the times of the struggle and all that stuff. Whereas 3-6 Mafia is all about like flipping over things, man, and knucking if you bucking and all that stuff. So it was like a clash of two very different styles, and I wasn't in a rush, but I am now, just to see what transpired and why Busy chucking bottles at people. You know what I'm saying? And calling them devil worshippers pregame, right? And pregame, he called them out and said, we go F up these devil worshippers.
He's not lying.
But goddamn, like out the gate like that, man. It's supposed to be a build-up. It's entertainment, man. This ain't no exorcism.
I will say this. I will say that coming in, like you and I kind of had the same things. Like Bone Thugs were my, like, out of the two groups, they were who I was cheering for. Like they were who I was more who I grew up more on, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know that 3-6 just had way too much hits with like just Juicy J alone. It's just too much hits they had. But I was pleasantly reminded the hits that Bone Thugs had during it. Like I forgot that they had a track with Pac. I forgot that, like, obviously the big track, obviously, like they had some tracks still, and I was pleasantly reminded through all the verses that they had tracks like that. So that was good to hear. But yeah, 3-6 had
the tracks measure up though. That's the question. Right?
They don't measure up in the regard of like monetary value, like value of like what they did. But like just in regards to feel, like the biggest track in regards to feel was Crossroads. Out of either group, that's the biggest track in regards to feel. But 3-6 still had like tracks, like they brought out like Terrence Howard and brought out like Lil Wayne and like stuff like that, like stuff like that.
Show.
Made it, like stuff like that made it what it was, because everyone knows, okay, like even in the comments, like everyone was saying, yo, like Bone Thugs, like what you hear like when you're smoking or you're driving on the street, and 3-6 what you hear when you're in the club, and that's what it was on like on the whole thing. It was 3-6 having a party, and Bone Thugs was just there, just doing their thing that only they can do. Like nobody ever raps like them ever, so it was just that kind of feel.
Dwayne, what about you? Did you get a chance to see it?
I just watched the highlights. That was it. The whole craziness that transpired. To me, I wasn't gonna be drawn to watch this one. It's not for me. It's not for me. I have my taste. I like what I like. This wasn't gonna be for me, but I knew that 3-6 Mafia was gonna mop the floor with Bone Thugs. Just the matchup wise. I like a lot more 3-6 Mafia songs than Bone Thugs songs, and so does the rest of the world. So I knew this Bone Thugs needed to be matched up with another group, not 3-6. It just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense to me.
Like another group that kind of mostly sings about struggle.
Yeah.
You know, and
I don't know who. I don't know
You know?
who, but I'm sure there's a matchup out there for them that wasn't 3-6.
I think the storyline of the beef that they've been having for so many years, and then
That's
that being
probably
on
the main
stage
thing.
was supposed to be kind of like the drawing point to it. But I don't think a lot of people actually knew about the beef. Like,
No.
I didn't know.
they've been beefing since the 90s, I believe. And so that was supposed to, I guess it was supposed to be like like a next one of the Southern Midwest, like the Gucci Jeezy,
Yeah.
where it was supposed to just
Yeah.
be thing. But if you know that they have beef, you're supposed to do the stage a little bit differently, like how you did.
Facts. Don't just put caution
Right?
tape.
Yeah, caution tape is not the way to stop them. But
That makes the problem worse. Like you have Mazda saying, "Yo, you guys need all this tape." Good thing you
Yeah.
got all this tape. Like,
yeah,
you're
like,
not helping.
it's insane. But let's go to maybe like what we can call the NBA's version of Verzuz. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So there was a game on, and I think in the group chat early, I kind of just shared the score from the score app. And then the score just kept going up and up and up. And for those
And
that
then
don't know
stopped?
what game we're talking about, Memphis put a whopping on OKC.
Nah, that's a Molly whopping, bro. That's Billy Club whopping, man. That is homicidal. That is crime scene is a mess.
It was a 73-point win.
Yeah, friggin'
At one point it was
OKC
70. Was it 75 or something?
OKC had 79 points and they lost by 73.
So, like, thoughts. I don't even know what more to say. But
I agree with Draymond. I'm finding everybody.
How?
On OKC, I'm finding everybody.
They're-
Like I'm doing an in-team fine. If
of
you
losing
go up,
because you lose.
yeah, I agree. There needs to be some kind of punishment for that because you're not going out there and doing your job that we're paying you millions to do. You're not doing your
Beat by
job.
the bench.
Just think about losing. Just think about losing by 73 in an NBA. NBA is upper tier basketball. That's the top level. 73 points. That's like an AAU score. I've never seen anything like it.
That's a high school score, man. That's like
I've never seen any
church score.
Nobody's ever seen anything like it. It's a record. It's never been done. In 75 years of the NBA, no one has ever lost at this high of a margin. They find everybody.
They should have won by 75 for like the 75th anniversary. Like
Fact. They were there.
They were up by 75.
Yeah.
They were up by 75.
The final score should have been 75, just because.
Not that far. It's crazy.
I'm actually pissed off Memphis didn't win by more. I wanted to see 100.
100?
I wanted to see 100.
Oh my god!
Because at that point, just sell the team. Just sell it. Put it up for sale. You can't play another game after that. Could you imagine if they lost by like 90 or something like that? Just sell it.
Good Lord.
Wasn't it like a day after Klay Thompson had on? Klay Thompson was saying that Seattle needs a team back. If they lost by 90, just give Seattle back. Okay,
I'll give them the team. I'm like Seattle, OKC. They don't deserve a team anymore. We're gonna go back home.
I think
we're going
the
back to
greater
Seattle.
question is the Drake effect still back in effect?
Yo, as I said, I don't know why the hell Drake was. Why is Drake there? Why was Drake there though? Who does Drake know there?
International relations.
But Shay's not even playing.
Doesn't matter. He's there.
You just go to.
So the man went to go see his boy that's not playing and went to the game and they lost by 73.
As a global ambassador.
And who was what's his name? Dort. Lou against Dort.
Yeah.
So he went to go see his Canadian boys.
I guess so.
And I don't even know why he's at the game. But anyways, they blamed him. They said the Drake curse was in effect. They blamed Drake for the loss.
So maybe he was testing. Maybe it was a test run. You know,
I believe in the curse now. If the curse was ever a thing that we didn't believe in before, I believe in it now. I think it's real.
You think it's real?
I think it's real. That doesn't happen. If Drake wasn't there, they don't lose by 73. I promise.
But it's getting stronger.
Okay, so what was more shocking? That loss or Valanciunas going 7 for 7 from 3?
No,
And some of those shots were some wild shots.
That's
The
73
loss for
point
sure.
loss.
The loss for sure.
Man.
JV can shoot it, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
JV's not.
Like, he was doing that in Toronto
Yeah,
too.
right.
Not
Toronto,
7
yeah,
for 7.
I know, but he could shoot the three. But they were giving him that shot though. That's the thing. Like, he was.
Yeah.
It's not like they were covering him pretty hard on those threes. They were giving
The
him
last
that three.
the last three, he was covered, and there was one I saw. It was like double team, and he still thought put that up. He was confident at that point.
He's still seven. He's still a 7-footer.
Right
I mean,
now.
he's gonna get that shot off. He's gonna get that shot off. So
I know all of us who play have had that game where you're just like unconscious, and even shots you wouldn't normally take, you just take because you're feeling it, man.
hell, I'm gonna admit it. Hell, Senator had that on me. He was hot. Man's on fire.
Damn.
Man, just throwing it up. Wax. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing. It happens. There's nothing I can do.
You just have to pull the Carlton Banks, eh? Oh man.
My hand was in his face, and he still chucked it up, and it went in. I'm like, how? There's nothing I can do. It happens. Hey, I'm mad enough to admit it.
Memories.
I'm mad enough to admit it.
Damn.
Senator did that to me. I'm mad enough to admit it. There's nothing I can do. I threw everything at him. I threw everything at him
for owning that.
He's right. When you're hot, you're hot. There's nothing you can do to stop it. To anyone.
That was a game still. That was a game. But let's talk about one of the big games that happened. Phoenix Suns that were on a 19-game win streak against the Golden State Warriors that were on a 7-game win streak at the time. But they were top 2 in the league for standing. Phoenix beat them a week before, I believe it was. And then this was the rematch.
Yep.
And Steph got the best of them at that point. So, how are you guys feeling about these two teams at this point? And how do you guys see their season playing out?
I'll say I don't want to say impressed by either of them. But they're putting the league on notice. I think I'm more, for lack of better words, I can't think of a better word right now, impressed with Golden State just because they're doing it without Clay, they're doing it without Wiseman. Phoenix, I mean, they were a solid team. Sorry, y'all. They were a solid team last year. And I think they're the same roster, and then they have some confidence now. Like, their young guys are playing a little better. I'm not really impressed with them, but Golden State is the one where I'm like, I didn't think like Gary Payton Jr. was out of the league like 2 years ago. Anderson was out of the league like 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, and these are guys that are making like big production. Jordan Poole was in the NCAA like 2 years ago. Andrew Wiggins was being bounced around like from Timberwolves a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So like this whole roster just guys just kind of has been bounced around. So for them to kind of be playing like this and Steph to be playing the way how he's playing, and Draymond kind of making a resurgence with shooting the ball well, playing defense, like they're not a scary team, but they're a team where like they have room to make some trades to be an interesting team come the second half of the year.
What about you guys?
I said it before and I'll say it again. Warriors, I don't think this is a fluke. I don't think this is like empty calories. I think Steph is back in scary mode, and when Steph is back in MVP mode, it's not really something you want to take lightly and underestimate it, and then this is, again, as Coach said, it's without Clay, who's coming back. It's without Wiseman. Suns were in the finals last year, and they didn't really make much changes, and nobody really made many changes to kind of go against them stronger. So I'm not surprised, but I still think my more thing is that I don't think this is like a fluke or just season luck. I think this will continue in the preseason, right? And I think it like I said, people need to start taking them seriously before it's too late.
What?
Yeah, I mean, Golden State, to me, they're the ones that I've got my eyes open on them. Just the way everybody's clicking on that team. Steph's got everybody playing to his level. I mean, that's pretty much what I'm seeing from them. Everybody's doing their job. Phoenix, I mean, the experience from last season, like they were doing pretty well in the playoffs last year. I mean, they didn't make it, but they didn't make it far into the playoffs as I thought they would. But this year, I think so far, I mean, what was it? What was that? Their winning streak? 18 game winning streak? 19 game winning streak. I mean, that's impressive on its own, but I mean, with Golden State, they're just doing it with less. And I think that just...
You say Phoenix didn't make it far?
I think he meant Golden State.
Okay.
Yeah, Golden State. Sorry.
Yeah, because they lost in the play.
Yeah. But with Golden State though, I mean, they're just doing a lot more with less. And when Klay comes back, it's just a lot more firepower. And the funny thing is, Steph, I think the past 3 games is actually not shooting well from 3-point line. He's shooting, I think, 32%, which is on the low for him. So he's having a horrible. The past few games, he's been shooting horribly, and they're winning games. So that kind of tells you something. He's got everybody up on their level, raising their game up to another level right now. Just his presence on the floor alone changes the entire game. That's what I'm noticing with Steph. Just him being on the floor alone, the whole dynamic of the game changes because he's a danger on his own. So everybody's worrying about where Steph is on the floor, and they're not worried about anybody else on the floor. So he's creating a lot of open looks for a lot of other guys in the team. So it just makes them very dangerous.
There are only certain guys in the league that have ever been able to kind of do that, where their presence on the court alone shifts everything. Like Braun in his prime, like he was that guy where like if he's on the court, everyone's going to get an open shot. You know, Steph Curry is that guy where just his movement, his actions, just it get guys open because you got to send double, you got to jump over the screen, you got to help, you got to do all this stuff, and then it gives
game long.
Even if
he's having a terrible shooting night,
yeah, you have to. It is not, you have to, and it gives guys. And then once that happens, it gives guys like Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, gives these guys a little confidence because they know, shit, okay, if they're gonna double Steph, I'm gonna get 1-on-1 with no help. I can beat whoever's guarding me on the other side, or I can get a good look. And when you have guys like Steph who's saying, "Yo, shoot it, go," and you got Steph, Steve Kerr telling you that, gives you guys confidence. Like it makes the game so easy. You know, I don't think KD has ever had that impact. Yeah, I see Giannis kind of having that a little bit, but the only certain guys in the league who have that impact. Where it doesn't matter if they're playing good or bad, you gotta respect them, and everyone else is gonna get easier looks.
For sure. So I want to swing to the East real quick and talk about Chicago Bulls. I was in a discussion with a few people 2 days ago or yesterday, and they were saying that they are the most surprised by the Bulls, and they thought that they would be fighting in the play-in games. And I said on the podcast that I had them top 4, and they said that that's a bold prediction. But looking at the East right now, where do you think the Bulls are going to end up?
I think like 4 to 6, 4 to 7 is where they'll be. I think they're just a young team right now who has some leaders. Like Zach LaVine is emerged into a leader. DeRozan is a leader. Same thing with Caruso. He's a leader. And Zoe has gotten better, right? So they have pieces there that are different leaders. But one thing that I'll say about the NBA season is that 82 games is a lot of games. And you can, if you play with energy, you can beat teams on a back-to-back, or you can beat teams early in the year because you're just playing with energy, you're younger, you're hitting shots, you have confidence, like where we'll see what the Bulls will be is second half of the year when teams are preparing for them, loading up for them, like making a game plan for them. Like as of right now, it's just, okay, well, your game plan is really just day before.
And Zach LaVine basically just
well there's that. But like on the opposing end, like as a coaching staff, you're basically preparing for them the night before or the day before, you know. So like you're not putting in schemes and stuff to stop them. You're kind of just saying, okay, well, this is what we do. We're gonna try and do this to the best of our ability, and we'll make in-game adjustments. Whereas second half of the year, you're like, okay, well, this is the team, the Bulls, like they're circling on the calendar. Like, we gotta prepare for this game, yada yada yada. You know, like for instance, like with the Lakers, Lakers get everybody's best shot every single night. Like that's a game where teams prepare for every single night. Same thing with the Nets. Like there are certain teams where they prepare for because they know, okay, this is the team that we got to prepare for. Whereas the Bulls was like, it might work, it might be whatever. Second half of the year is where we will see, in my opinion, what they will become. But I'm not really impressed with them, man. Like if anyone on that team I'm impressed with is Zoe. He's a guy where I'm like, shit, like he's shooting better than Trae Young, shooting better than Luka, shooting better than these guys who we have as like predominant shooters, scorers in the league, and he's shooting better than them. So like I'm impressed with him. But I know what Caruso brings. I know what DeRozan brings. Those are like proven commodities in the NBA. Zach LaVine, he's always been a star. He's always been has star potential. He's just kind of been more consistent now. But Zoe's the only guy where I'm like, yo, he's stepping up.
And he stopped dissing people on track.
So you think Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Miami, like those teams will be like they're above Chicago next season, next year?
I think Brooklyn for sure.
Boston too.
Boston, I'm not
or
sold
Philly.
On Philly, like I'm not sold on Philly, but they have like they're still a great team. You know, like even with or without Ben Simmons, they're still a team that can contend. I don't know for a championship, but they can contend for a playoff run, second round playoff run, maybe depending if Joel Embiid's healthy. You know, conference finals. But I have
because second half is usually when Embiid kind of gets a little
dips. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like I would say Brooklyn, Bucks, Miami would probably be my top three.
Miami's like, also dependent on healthy too. Right?
Pardon me?
Miami also depends on health too, right? Because
I mean, Bam's out right now.
And Jimmy just what?
That's a big part of their defense. That's a big part of their defense that it's gone right now. So
Jimmy has missed games, and we all know, like, you two know for sure, like Kyle Lowry, like the last 2 years, he's been one of those guys that when he's on the court, he's going to give you production, he's going to give you winning plays, but is he going to be on the court 82 games of the year? No.
Sometimes that back's going to start.
That back, yeah.
That back is going to start knocking. Right?
Yeah, so
not wishing it, but how many 9, 11? No, we've been here.
And then he had that thing, and he had that finger surgery last year. So
and then Tyler Hero started the year unconscious because he didn't have any expectations. Just come in, you're a scorer off the bench. Now with guys out, like we're seeing, like he's struggling a little bit right now. You know, with his production and his shooting.
And I knew that was going to happen. I knew it was going to taper off. That was not going to last forever.
Well. Like I think once he's back in that role as being the sixth man, I think he'll even out. Like he won't be like 22 points per game, but he won't be where he is at like 12 points a game. He'll be like around 17, 18 points a game. Just because his skill set is one of those skill sets where he can do it all. He can put the ball on the ground. He can shoot. He's playing confident, but it's a different level of confidence when you're going up against like NBA All Stars and stuff in the starting lineup. When you go up against guys who are like D League or whatever G League guys who are fighting for roster spots that was 6 through 9 guys, your confidence is a little bit different, and that's how he was playing earlier in the year. But right now, when he's starting, he doesn't look the same kind of player. But yeah, those are my top three, and I think Chicago could possibly be anywhere. Like their high end is 4. I think their low end is 7.
What about y'all?
Interesting. I mean, I don't have anything much different to say than Coach, except I do see them having the potential to end in third. Because I do see that potential. I don't know, the Bucks to me doesn't seem like something seems a bit different. You know what I'm saying? So
championship hangover.
Right. Like AD's still suffering from that. So like I'm like Nets, yes, especially if Harden some way somehow gets out of this funk he's in. And then who's the third? And then Miami, again, health dependent, but if Bam comes back and Bam and Jimmy can take that pressure off Kai so that his back doesn't start ticking in, then I see them. But Bucks, I'm not as sure as those two. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think Bucks could potentially be fourth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that could be a wild take, given I haven't been able to watch many games, to be honest. But just the games I have watched with the Bucks, especially, and I know our last game with them, they were missing Giannis, but still, it's like I don't know, something just seems off, and I guess it is like championship hangover. But that's just my take. I see him like possibly being third, fourth, or fifth.
Good. You got anything to add?
I mean, everyone pretty much said it. I think Chicago definitely would be skirting around that third, fourth, fifth slot. There's going to be a lot of jostling when it comes into the playoff time. You're going to see a lot of teams. I think it's going to be tighter than we think this year.
Yeah.
Because the East seems a little more spread out teams-wise, like in terms of players, because there's a lot more talent spread out throughout the East now. Every team pretty much. Like I would say the top 6 or 7 teams right now, all that talent's kind of spread out amongst them. So it's going to be a lot more tighter coming down the stretch and the end of the season. So you're going to see a lot of that last like 5-6 game jostling. Yeah. And teams are going to be fighting to secure spots because you know how that is. You want to secure a spot because there's certain teams you want to play. Right. Somebody wants home court. So people are going to be fighting and really playing. Like, those last 10 games are huge.
Like if you're first and second, you're essentially getting teams that are already like battle worn. You know what I'm saying? Because you're getting those play-in teams. So like you're getting one team that's will probably end up playing even 2 games already in. You know what I'm saying? And that has its plus and minuses. So positioning this year around with the new rules and everything like that, and just like how because this schedule is still a bit condensed. It's not like a regular schedule. It's still like a bit condensed. So having those positions nowadays, especially with the way injuries have come into play, more often than not, then that will be key. So I do see a pickup in energy and pace and just like attempt during the final, few weeks just to get those key spots. Because if you can get a play-in team, that could possibly be like a 1-2 game lead out the gates, depending. Right. So
all right, last thing I want to get to before we head out of here is our early predictions of the All-Star starting lineup. So we are about 25 games in, 23, 25 games in, depending on the team. So let's make an early prediction of who we think might be in the All-Star starting lineup, and we will revisit this a little bit before the All-Star game actually happens. So do you guys need a moment to think about who you have, or are you guys pretty much good to go?
It'll be tough. Like, I mean, you can have KD, Giannis. Those are pretty much solid on the East. KD, Giannis.
I would say Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, maybe, but he's been hurt. Maybe, but like I go
because isn't it usually a fan thing though?
It's like fan thing, yeah.
So I think the fans will give him the votes. So I think he gets the votes.
I think it would be like KD, Giannis, maybe a DeRozan or a Zach LaVine in there.
That'll be tough. I don't know.
Maybe a Bradley Beal. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. The West, I mean, you'll have Steph. You'll have probably Chris Paul, your 2 guards. Probably Bron. Actually, no.
Paul George?
No, Steph, Luka, Braun. I don't know. That's tough. Like, there's not many guys who are killing right now. Like, Paul George is playing all right. Like, some games he's killing, but there's not a lot of guys out there. I'm like, yeah, like he's.
I mean, Jokic.
Yeah, but he missed some games to being hurt.
You see,
Maybe he might get voted in.
To me, it's like it's the names, right? It's the names because I don't really think it's gonna matter who's missed games or anything like that. I don't think it's gonna come into a factor of who makes the All-Star team. I think it's just gonna be names, like the names that you like Jokic and these guys, Damian Lillard. It's like people, even though the teams are struggling, the names is what people are gonna vote for. I think those guys are gonna make the All-Star team. I think they're gonna start.
So for the starting, I'll tell you what I have. For the East, I have Embiid, Giannis, Durant, Levine, and Trey. For the East.
I mean, I get the trade thing. He started in the last time, but they're not even a playoff team right now, which they weren't last time either.
But again,
votes.
All-Star don't matter about playoffs. It's always votes. It doesn't matter if your team sucks. It really doesn't. They'll vote you in.
We had the same question last time, and I said I don't agree with that shit, but maybe
Kenny talks about all the time. Like in Chuck, those guys they said they shouldn't be rewarding teams that suck, but they do. It is what it is.
It is what. And for the West, I have Jokic, Braun, Steph, Luka. I honestly don't know who I would put fifth, to tell you the truth.
80.
Paul George, maybe Donovan Mitchell, maybe CP3.
They might put Doncic as like a forward, and if they do that, then I have CP3.
Yeah, maybe CP3. Who knows, man?
It's gonna be crazy because I know exactly how this is gonna play. I know.
So seeing as how it's a popularity contest with the names, is it potential or is it possible that the East point guard might be Kyrie Irving?
No.
Because rumor has it his name might be on the list.
No, that'd be crazy.
Play a game.
This man's gonna play the game. That's
I don't know. I read somewhere.
I think you have to be eligible. To be eligible, you have to play a certain amount of games.
Yeah, play games. Yeah.
To be eligible, you have to. That's how it always is. You have to actually play a certain amount of games.
You don't get added to the ballot unless you play a certain amount of games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They put things in place for that because anyone can play a guy that hasn't played.
Right.
Like some superstar that hasn't played. Anyone can put
mine
that.
Mine is OG, Alpha, Mu, Delta, and Omarion or Omicron. Because that's still a thing apparently.
So you're just saying Rudy Gobert. All right. So we reached a part of the podcast where we get to promote our social medias and anything else that we might be working on. So Dwayne, we'll start with you.
You could just follow me on Instagram, ChazChas_Tenenbaum.
Dope. Coach.
IG is real deal _Francis. I'm not really working on anything right now. We're on Christmas break right now for a bit, so we're back in the gym again. We're practicing and stuff, but don't have another season game until like January 12th. Catch me on here. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, I'm back in Toronto come March for Nationals, but other than that, that's it. Real deal _Francis.
Dope. That's it.
My personal @ProChatterbox, and on my podcast Talks with the Chatterbox that I do with Baritone Levy. You can check out our social @ChatterTalks or our website www.chattertalks.tv.
Dope. And you can check me out on Instagram and Twitter @TheSenator. Don't forget to check out my Twitch page, twitch.tv/It'sTheSenator. I just randomly pop up on there, so just follow and you'll see when you get the notification when I'm on. Also, don't forget to check out the Not So Soft Pod. Comes out every Monday now. Every Monday, change of dates. So that's what myself, Nino Rockwell, and Kino the Great. Also, don't forget to follow our Instagram page at the.chatroompod. Don't forget to like, rate, subscribe, and share the Chatroom Podcast wherever you listen or you watch. Make sure you head over to the YouTube channel. Like I said earlier in the beginning of the episode, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, because we got something special planned for you in the coming up weeks. So just make sure you subscribe, you hit that bell, and continue to support. All right, gentlemen, I think we did it.
Yes, sir.
One more episode after this, then we're on a little bit of a break.
So you have time for your shenanigans.
I ain't got no shenanigans. Just
My bad. I didn't need to.
Maybe might just show up to bingo one more time. But this has been the Chatroom Podcast, your favorite baller's favorite podcast, and we are out.
Peace.
Peace.